No, we need to lift it up.
We're also selling tickets, for people to sit outside if you want.
In the library.
Perfect, thank you. Okay.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
If you want to wear the headphones, you can, but it's up to you.
I think wear the headphones.
Wear the
Yeah, it
headphones.
might be
It's,
better.
you can hear yourself. You can
better.
hear everything that's going on.
Okay.
Better.
Wait, huh?
Just okay.
There you go.
Yeah, and you become a radio DJ for the morning.
Okay,
Awesome.
Tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Well, we're actually live already on Facebook
We're already
and
on
Yeah.
Facebook,
YouTube.
so you
You're
can
already
say,
doing
Monitor,
it.
so that will be you. This is what everyone will be watching on Facebook and
yeah, you
YouTube.
can adjust your color.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, all right.
And don't
Okay.
forget to talk into the...
I should not be looking at the camera.
You
right?
can.
You can if you want,
we
yeah.
look at the
can.
camera all the time.
Yeah.
We don't
It's fine.
pretend
It's fine. You
not
don't
there,
have
yeah.
to. Just
Yeah.
look at each other. Anyway, welcome, Lay Lim. Welcome to the show.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, we're going
we're
on
going
the
on.
radio
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Just pull the microphone close.
Jenny, you and me right here on Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place. All right, she's in the studio. Miss Teo Lay Lim, CEO of SPH Media. Welcome to the big show.
Thank you, guys. Good morning.
Good
morning.
I've got to say, I've always wanted to ask you this question. I've always wanted to ask a CEO this question. As a CEO, what does your day look like?
You know, there are no 2 days that are the same. So it's always fun because you don't know what the day holds for you. However, generally speaking, there are really 3 broad categories. I think about what people don't think about. You know, what a little bit ahead of where we are today. What does the future hold for us, and what we need to be doing now. And then I spend time on what we have in flight. Those initiatives, those programs that we've kicked off. How are they doing? But generally, that should occupy less time because it's in the hands of very capable people.
Yeah.
Taking them and run with it. And then, of course, connecting with people. I think it's so key. Because there's only so much you can do, you know, in your own headspace or even just internally within our own 4 walls. But just connecting internally across different levels, it's always a really great source of energy. I always learn something new, get some insights that I would never otherwise get. And of course, connecting with external, the world outside. Folks, because our business is one that everyone is familiar with.
Yeah.
Our customers, our clients, and so on and so forth. And it's always very helpful just to have this sanity check.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, and stay connected. No, you talk about this day, which sounds like an extremely busy day. You know,
yeah.
you say it changes every day. You connect external, you connect internal. You manage a company that is massive and has been around for so long. Where do you find the time for yourself? What do you do when you are Teo Lay Lim, the regular person, taking off the CEO hat and everything? Who is Teo Lay Lim?
Oh dear, you make it sound so like, like I go into my bat cave.
Yes, you do. Everyone's got a bat cave.
Bat cave and just, really, like you say, there's not that much time, but I think we find, little pockets of space. And of course, it's not surprising I spend time with people I care about. So, I met, so of course, family and friends, but I've met a lot of people in the 30-something years that I've been in business. And so just reconnecting with networks and so on and so forth is something that I really enjoy doing. Again, it's all about perspective. And of course, spend some time to feed the brain, read stuff,
Yeah.
listen to stuff. Sometimes mindless entertainment is good too.
Oh, yes. Okay.
that would be us.
Like what?
Yeah.
Netflix?
Like Netflix.
What do you
Yes.
watch? What
do you watch?
What do you watch?
Okay, see, I really enjoyed Blacklist.
Oh, Blacklist is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's quite interesting story. More recently, this is not well known, but there was this medical drama, New Amsterdam.
I love
Yes, I
New
saw that.
Amsterdam.
I haven't seen that
I
yet.
cry
Yeah.
every
I
episode.
don't like these medical dramas.
So I mean, not the
They're scary.
typical
no, it's
things,
ER type,
but,
not-
but this is about New Amsterdam. Is about change. It's about
Yes.
culture,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of
I
one of those
love
things
it.
that I really enjoyed.
Right.
Yeah, so those two, and then of course discovering new things, but not really to waste more time if the first of the pilot doesn't work for me. It just,
That's it. That's it. Okay. Okay.
I feel like New Amsterdam is not light watching though. It's
Yeah,
kind of
right.
heavy.
it is.
Isn't he a doctor who has a condition himself?
Yes,
Yeah,
and he
Something like
works
that.
for. He runs a public hospital.
And he runs a public hospital.
Yeah.
A lot of
Gosh.
legacy, a lot of culture.
I feel like that would be work for you to watch that and be like,
No,
how is that
okay.
reflective of my
Well,
job?
Maybe that's why I enjoy it. Because then it's not me. It's, it's
Somebody else.
Somebody else doing. I've got a recommendation. Mindhunter.
Ooh,
You
that's
need
good
to
too.
get into that.
That's another good
Crime
one.
as well, based on a true story. So
Okay.
that might be something. Put that on your list.
Mindhunter. Okay, got it.
Ballers is quite nice as well. I love Ballers.
Very,
Okay, no,
very
I-
light.
okay.
Very
Yeah.
light.
Check it out. Check it out. Ballers is
Talking
good.
to you guys, 2 new things for me to do.
There you go.
You love your music, Lay Lim.
Uh,
You do.
Yes.
I do. But you know what? I'm one of those people who would never really have a favorite artist. I mean, it's like, who is that?
Right.
I remember when I was in, a long, long time ago, when I was in pre-university, I had a classmate who was one of those people who always knew what the top 10 songs were. I invest in CDs and whatnot.
Wasn't me.
Yeah,
okay.
It was way before your time. But you know what? He would always, very sweet, would compile for me on a cassette tape.
Mixtape.
A mixtape.
Oh.
And so I was not completely
liked
ignorant. I was not completely ignorant therefore. Okay, Real Speedwagon, ELO. And so I at least knew, right? But I don't go out and follow, something wildly.
Right.
So the songs that I know and I like are those that I happen to hear. Okay, what's that song?
Yeah.
Of course, it's so much easier now with Spotify
Yeah.
because you find one, then you got half a
Shazam.
dozen other
Recommendations.
suggestions and
Yeah.
recommendations. So that's lovely. But in between those 2 eras, I really liked more like the Andrew Lloyd Webber type of music.
Oh,
Wow, musicals.
musicals. Okay.
Broadway and
Wow.
musicals. So
Wow.
that's it.
But
Are
when
you
we
a
asked you to pick a few songs for us today, one of the songs you've picked and we're about to play right now is by Jason Mraz.
Oh yes.
Who I love.
Yes.
Have It All. Why did you choose this song?
Okay, so I like. So I don't always dive into all the lyrics. Neither do I go and do a lot of research as to why he wrote the song or whatnot. But when I heard it was very uplifting. I think that's what music is. It connects to the soul. It puts you in a different place. And so actually, this song, when I left my last company and retired from the last company, I had a WhatsApp group of my leadership team, and the last thing I posted in it was this song, was this link to say sort of, this is what I wish for you guys
To have it all.
and it's broad enough because having it all means different things
Yes.
to different people. So you can hyper personalize it and say, okay, that's what I really want. And so on and so forth.
Yes.
So for me, that was what the song means.
Wow.
Well, it's
Okay,
a really,
nice.
really nice song, and we're going to play it right now. This is Jason Mraz, Have It All on Kiss 92. Jason Mraz is one of those artists. Like,
Yeah.
all his songs are
Amazing.
so happy.
I just want to go on the same thread because you said you posted this song into your leadership group
Yes.
about having it all, and it's all very individual. What's having it all to you? What would that be?
Good question, right? I think it's balance. It's not having more of everything, but it is being in a place whereby you're comfortable with who you are and what you have, and so it's really defining whatever it is your way.
It's all relative,
It's all
right?
relative. It's relative to who you are and what you want. It's not what other people think you should be. It's not what other people think you should have. It's
Absolutely.
definitely it's not what you don't have.
Because then
So,
it's so painful. You keep chasing it. and it's like-
so much to be unhappy about. So
yeah.
I think that balance element is so important.
Yeah.
And it will help you deal with the challenges that come along too.
For sure.
right?
Fantastic answer. Yeah.
Now, we're all in the media industry, Lay Lim. Do you have any advice to give to newbies who are interested in or have just joined the media industry?
Yeah, I think if we think about what this business is about, I think it's about storytelling. It's about taking information, taking news, and telling it in a compelling way. And these days, part of the challenge is there's so many different ways to tell the story. You can tell a story in 45-second segments on TikTok, on Instagram Reels. I just got into Threads. I don't quite know what to do with it. Right? It's sort of just popping up, you know. So now we've got Telegram, we've got WhatsApp. Of course, we've got our traditional print, we've got our digital apps. But it's all about, and then you've got graphics, you've got audio, you've got video. So there are more ways to tell a story now than ever before. And the thing is, how do we do it well? How do we do it in a way that really engages our audiences and makes them, teasers and challenges and leaves them to come back wanting for more? So I think that's what this business is about. I do think that for anyone coming to any industry, I hope that we can be relentless and we have this spirit of saying, okay, what we do is, is good. What do we do to make it better? And the challenge is within ourselves. It's not often, how can I do better tomorrow than I did today in whatever is my chosen field?
Yeah.
And so I think that's got to be part of the spirit because, and I suppose the last one is a little bit like the second, which is don't be afraid of change. Because,
because the media landscape is constantly evolving,
will change.
Right? Yeah.
Our audiences change, the tools change, the people around us might change. So just being comfortable with change, I think, is incredibly important for anyone who comes in, not just to our industry, but generally any industry.
And I think things, especially now, change quicker than ever before.
Indeed.
People get bored so quickly.
Yes,
people need
for
their
sure.
attention captured within the first 5 seconds.
That's right.
10 seconds. Do something for a minute and it's already too long. And it's difficult for us content creators.
Yes.
Because what we do on radio is content creating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got to recognize people can also be fickle about their preferences.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not too long, but then sometimes over a weekend I want to really spend more time.
Yeah.
So you guys don't come up with stuff that,
Needs to be
needs to be
relevant.
read. It needs to be read, and it takes time for me to think, and absorb, and consume. So
Thought-provoking.
it's about sometimes being all things to all people, but just recognizing that versatility and the ability to adapt, I think, is quite key.
And constantly trying to think what people want before they want it.
Indeed, and then realizing that what they say they want
It's
isn't
not the
they
same.
don't really do or follow up. So that's
true.
the contradiction of our time.
Time now,
I think I've been in this industry for a while now, and I don't think I've had a CEO like you, though. And I'm not saying this just because we've worked together, but you encouraging the entire force here at SPH and encouraging everyone. You're doing a good job. Keep it up. I think it's so very important. I mean, Lay Lim and myself, we did an internal video just to encourage everyone because she recognizes that everyone is putting in so much work. And sometimes all people want is a tap on their shoulder. And just
a pat on the back.
a pat on the back.
And
so thank you very much.
Yeah, and I feel that's what you do well is that you connect with every level. Like a lot of CEOs I've seen just connect with the level below them and then they handle everybody else below them. But you want to work from the ground up.
So one of the things that I've always found very fulfilling, and I just over the last week I do meet with groups randomly put together and I've always done this through my career. And one of my the outcomes that I seek is if I meet with a group. Firstly, I learn something that I would never have known otherwise, because it's perspectives. But equally important is that if through the dialogue, everyone in the group goes away thinking a little bit differently, meaning, and it's not necessarily whether it's right or wrong. Is if I had one point of view, I hope you go away with 2 points of view. Because it's all about developing people so that they become more successful or they think differently and have broader judgments and so on and so forth. So that's what I think is fulfilling to me, and that's why I do it.
You're in the right space.
Is that part of the nurturing process that you feel you have for the talents to help them grow, to help them blossom?
Yes. I mean, I grew up in a model where performance of individuals and leadership, you are evaluated based on whether you create value, whether you develop people, and whether you ran your business well.
Okay.
And not everyone is perfect on all three fronts. So generally there are 2 out of 3 that you do very well, and then one you sort of get on, or you find someone who does it well and you bring them into your team. So being a people developer has always been one of those things that was expected of me, but which as you grow you realize how important that is.
Very true.
Yeah. So what makes us different as SPH Media in nurturing new talent, you think?
You know,
Really?
it's in the end, it's got to be the commitment of people here to build the next generation. So it's quite interesting. I walked by Toastbox and I see a small little huddle. You know, it's about supervisors talking to younger journalists about this upcoming event and what angles we should take. So I think that's for sure something that happens, and we need to recognize that's value. That's value.
Like mentorship.
Mentorship.
Yeah.
Of course, we've got the more formal channels, like we've got the Media Academy, which we set out because we recognize that at scale we need to uplift capabilities no matter where you are. Something always to learn, digital production, etc. I think learning in our context also relates to new talents we bring in with experiences which we don't have today. So digital, you've got a studio that's being built right now.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, bringing different...
That's exciting.
Yeah,
I'm
it
so
is.
looking
That
forward to
sense,
it.
yeah.
So bringing people in with different kinds of talent experience, different pathways. So we need to... So then we enrich the experiences because of that.
Right. Okay, Lay Lim, we'll go back on the radio.
Sure.
Stand by. Sarah Bareilles with Brave right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. Our guest for this morning is Miss Teo Lay Lim, CEO of SPH Media.
Now, we've been having an awesome conversation both on the Big Show TV as well as on air, and you were talking about how SPH, you feel, is different in terms of our media approach, in terms of nurturing talent, in terms of finding talent, identifying talent. What about overseas partners? You know, what are there any overseas partners that we at SPH Media are working with to be able to provide learning and training opportunities, whether it's to our journalists or new talent that's coming in?
Yeah, you know, 2 things come to mind. One is for the second year running, we've had this fellowship with the Reuters Institute.
Oh, nice.
In Oxford University, and this year we've originated a new fellowship with Tsinghua School of Journalism in Beijing.
Oh, nice.
So these are
Wow.
opportunities
Okay.
that we want our journalists to have to be part of programs to develop further their skills, but also to build networks with peers, you know, and thought leaders overseas. I'll also say that we have looked at just working with other media organizations to exchange views, and so we signed the MOU with Nikkei, and so we had a team land in Tokyo and, you know, just
すごい
exchanging a view of, you know, how do you do things, because we recognize everyone is facing the same challenges. Everyone needs a different response, perhaps because they are in a different context, but there's nothing wrong with borrowing ideas
Yeah.
and learning from others and maybe improvising to make it fit for purpose for us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Daphne loves Japan.
I
She's so
love
excited.
That's why she got excited when
So
you said
excited.
Send me
Tokyo.
Japan anytime. With
With the journalists, with the journalists.
Yeah,
why
for sure.
not?
Yeah. Okay, let's go into a little bit of a fun topic that, you know, Singaporeans cannot stay away from, especially FD. Food. Yeah, it's something so close to FD's
Straight
heart.
away you
This is-
uplift
You
me.
know, he's
dear.
he's suddenly awake
Yeah,
now.
we'll wrap this interview on a
light note.
On a light note. Yeah.
But Teo Lay Lim, food. FD, why don't you
Favorite
answer the question?
foods.
Favorite foods?
Yeah.
I'm quite adventurous, but of course, I think the staples, the comfort foods, things like roti prata.
Answers my question.
There you go.
I just said, just before you came in, I
Yes.
told Glenn, because he said
Oh,
you wanted to
yeah.
have breakfast with us. I said, maybe we should take her for prata
Okay.
across the road. And he says,
Oh.
how do you know she eats prata?
Across the road. Okay, so
Across-
prata, black carrot cake.
Oh, my
Ooh,
favorite.
black
Yeah,
carrot
my
Those are
favorite.
the two
cake.
things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comfort
We
food.
have that across the road.
Oh,
Black
we
carrot
do.
cake and prata.
That's what I was told. I mean, we are in the
Yeah, we do.
center of food capital.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
yes,
true.
we
it's
are.
true. Where do you get your prata from? So I can go.
Wow.
Come
Okay.
on.
I like the category, but I'm not one of those people who would
Has to go.
Drive all,
all
Okay.
the way,
right,
okay.
right, right.
deal with parking.
Yeah.
So I quite enjoy when, say, Jalan Kayu Prata now has got franchisees.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
goodness for that.
That's why
Then
I
the
sing.
purists will say not the same, but you know what? Good enough for me.
So you're
There
not
you go.
you're not overly fussy. You know,
I'm
you
not
don't.
overly
Okay,
fussy.
okay. What about carrot cake though? That's my favorite.
Yes,
Breakfast?
actually, the black one, right?
Yes.
Gimo Market is famous for it.
I used to live near there.
Yes.
So
Me, I mean, I still
yeah.
live near there. Yeah, I go every
but
Saturday
you
or
got the long
Sunday.
queues. And then, I found that, say, Vivo City Food Court has a pretty decent one.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Really?
So that's something you
Vivo
will
City.
travel for then, carrot cake.
Well, it's
If
not
you're in the
because
area.
you can do many things. You can do your supermarketing and
Yes.
so on and so forth, right?
That's true.
So that's yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Food is so important because Singapore is one of the few countries in the world, I believe, where in most countries people eat to live. We
live to eat.
Hey,
We do.
I got to do a plug. Our cafeteria is quite good too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you think about where do I
Absolutely.
go? Here, yes, I know I'm surrounded by many options. Okay, but many days when I'm here, it's up there.
It's
Every
quite
time,
nice.
every time I
Wow.
take lunch away, you ask these guys, it's Azman upstairs.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
my curry puff go-to man.
Oh, curry puff.
Yeah.
The
But
curry
the
puff.
belacan,
Curry
the
puff.
sambal.
Oh, of
amazing.
course.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But
Very, very good.
I've had enough of local food. I will take you guys to the Dempsey Project
Oh,
one of
see?
these days and have their nice big,
Big breakfast
there. Oh,
that 10 people can share.
so good. Bacon, eggs, avocado, hash browns.
So, white people food. Okay.
White people.
All right, I organize, okay? Lay Lim, I organize breakfast, okay? We go there.
Anytime. Anytime.
All right.
She said she's not fussed. So.
I've just got one more question for you that I want to clear off my mind. You've had such a career. If you could give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
My younger self.
Your
She's already
younger
very
self.
young. Already.
Younger.
Younger, not
so
young.
I'm starting out. Again.
Okay.
What advice, with all this hindsight, what advice would you give yourself?
I don't think I'd do anything differently. So in that sense, but let me tell you a story about sometime in 2014, 2015-ish. I had the opportunity to participate in a leadership development program as a faculty member. But then we had this guest named Robert Fogarty, and he was a co-founder of this program called Dear World.
Okay.
And he was a journalist by training, but then went into this art form, which is you write a message on some part of your body that if you just through that picture, it communicates.
Oh.
And so I had to think on the spot. And the words I chose were life without regrets.
Wow.
And that would be what I would tell my younger self, even though at that time I kind of felt, yeah, this is quite true, is live your life without regrets. That means you make choices that are important, that you think are right in the moment. You don't delay and say someday, because someday may
Today.
not come. And so it's sort of live your life in a way that you can say, I've lived a life without regrets.
I love that.
that's
That's
that
great
so
advice.
That's good.
I love that. I'm
That's
actually
good.
looking at his website. It's called dearworld.com.
It's Dear World.
Yeah, they
It's so
develop
powerful.
storytelling methods that inspire, connect, and build skills. I like that. Very nice.
I just want to mention something that's come up on Facebook very quickly. Peter Lim has been listening to this, and he is amazed at how you connect with people. He's picked that up from this interview straight away. He's
Nice.
just amazed by it. Thank you, Peter, for the comment.
So we're so lucky to have you, Lay Lim, and thank you so much for coming in
Well,
this
thank you for
morning.
inviting me.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun, and we will do breakfast very soon.
We've got one more song.
Thank
Yeah.
Lay
you.
Lim has
Chose
Katy
it,
Perry.
yeah.
That's right.
Raw.
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 Yes.
I
Why,
love this
why did you
song.
choose Raw?
You know, it's like it's a song that just encourages you to go out and do stuff. And I always struggle with the fact that sometimes in society you've got different groups, and we always talk about silent majority, and sometimes I struggle with that. I say if the silent majority would sometimes speak. Then I
make a
think we have
difference.
much better discourse in society.
Yeah.
So raw. So go out there and just
Be
unleash
brave.
that. Be brave.
Empowerment.
Yes.
Everybody raw.
Okay. All right, Lay Lim, thank you once again for
Thank
joining
you.
us this
Thank
morning.
you for inviting me.
Have a wonderful
Been fun.
day ahead.
Thank you.
Katy Perry, Raw, on Kiss 92.